Miracles Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir. Volume review. If you're a preteen, having a child within the age range, or just a big fan of female lead animation shows in general, you may have heard of Miracles Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir. Originally debuting in 2015, it's a French CGI series created by Thomas Astro and developed by Jeremy Sag that, at the time of writing, has had 5 seasons, over 100 episodes, a full-length movie now on Netflix, multiple comic book tie-ins, toys, and much more. It's an extremely popular series, not just with its audience but also with superhero magical girl fans in general. Due to its unique Sailor Moon meets Spider-Man concept, Miraculous is a brilliant blend of memorable villains, high action, and finding the balance between the superhero and civilian identities to be found in comic books, whilst also incorporating the powers of upgrades, transformation, sequences, character-driven arcs, and romance of magical girl media. The series has an ongoing story that ups the ante each time each was developing the heroes as they navigate their way around, also involving supervillains and top of high-quality animation, makes this series very much beloved within its fandom and beyond. So of course, due to its obvious love letter to magical girl anime, it has found high popularity in Japan, with the series getting its own dub and a manga adaptation, available for the first time in English thanks to Kodansha. The main series follows two Parisian teenagers, Marinette and Adrienne. Marinette seems like a normal girl with a normal life, but she's actually Ladybug, a superhero with the power of creation, given by her Kwame Tiki. Adrienne is a famous model and son of the famous fashion designer Gabriel Agreste. But Adrienne is also secretly Cat Noir, the superhero with the power of destruction, given by his Kwame Plague. The pair are unaware of each other's identities, but must fight it together to defeat the evil Hawkmoth, who wants their powers for his own. That plan is also true for the manga adaptation, but does it prove anything different for the original animated series? Well, it's a double review from Anime Yuki News, as Darkstorm and Onosome give their opinions on this highly anticipated first volume. I watched Miraculous since it made its debut, so I work in kids TV, so I have followed its humble beginnings to its explosion and popularity as the series went from self-contained episodes in season 1. So its overarching plot and drama-filled episodes in later seasons, it was the opening episode of season 2 that turned me from a casual watcher to I'm a fan until the very end. The manga is based upon the first season of the series, covering the episode Stormy Weather, The Bobbler, and the first part of the Evil Lost Trader. But the manga is a copy and paste job from the original series with new art. The changes are minimal but noticeable. First of all, there's a touch more dialogue developing Adrian's angst and his mother's passing. It's not noticeable at first as a lot of his facial expressions, and these are quite happy and uplifting, whether the animated series is shown more variety. But the small cutaway in which we see him waking up from a nightmare about his mother reveals his more somber side in a way that we haven't seen in the series. There's also his brief conversation with Ladybug at the end of the Bubbler, where he asks the questions about whether he can trust adults. It not only shows off Adrian's mindset and also develops his relationship with Ladybug too. The bit I liked last, however, was the casual reveal of Hawkmoth's identity. If you were a fan of the series from the beginning, then it was a common fan theory that Hawkmoth's identity is Adrian's father, but it wasn't outright confirmed until the opening episode season 2. The episode questions The Collector was not just a reveal but also a status quo change by the series, revealing that they were officially ripping out the training wheels that the first season had and going full throttle into the series we know and love today. Here in the manga, however, it's casually shown alongside his motivation for why he chose to become Hawkmoth, and a single page at the beginning, the evil lost trader, and it just does not have the same impact. Admittedly, it's very common knowledge now, so getting it out of the way was probably the intention of the mangaka here, but it's just a shame that it's treated so casually here. That there's hints that Gabriel is suspecting his son to be Cat Noir, which is again treated briefly and casually in this manga, but earlier in the story than in the series, I can see that they're trying to give this manga story a few alterations to stop this being a copy and paste of the anime series, but they're doing so at the expense of long-term extension and production drama for the short-term spectacle that doesn't hand. However, I can complain about the art. The original series is very animated, but it's just an intelligible sense, but also now expressive it is. It's obviously inspired by anime, but with high budget thrown into behind it. It also allows for dynamic movements and facial expressions. Luckily, that translates very well into the manga form. The powers like the transformations and powers pop out on the panels. The character designs are very distinct and there's very good use of shading as well to make everything look and feel more active. There are also some very good double page spreads that really stands out at the right moments. I'm less fan of the backgrounds, however. The series is set in Paris, France, with very distinct locations like the Eiffel Tower, a grassy mansion, Marinette's parents, bakery, and more. You get none of that in this volume. If you did know, the series will be set anywhere. The translation is easy to read too. There's an error for double boarding within the first chapter, but overall it follows the script of the original series almost exactly. The translation notes at the end are good too, to help newcomers understand the show's unique terminology. Overall, that was a fun, easy to read volume. I won't say at least this early in this run, that it replaces the original series, but if you love the show, are a massive collector for it, or just want a brief reminder on the early episodes without having to go back and watch them, it's a cute book to own. While I only got into Miraculous fairly recently at the beginning of the year, so I started to explore more Western animation. It quickly grabbed me thanks to the Symmetrical Crow inspired roots and pulled me into its larger merchandise and Fested world. After exploring its coming adaptations, which haven't done so well, I was excited to see it emerge here in a manga form after it achieved some decent popularity in Japan. The first point announced the beginning of the series, and a couple of early episodes largely beat for beat, which reveals both its pros and cons, while the series' overarching story has been criticized as being rather drawn out over its current 5 seasons. The beginning is where it's often at its strongest and simplest, giving us a winning combination of magical girl-style superhero action paired with fun slice of light comedy and a dash of foolhardy romance, jumping straight into things with stormy weather. It is all it is in space, a set of all these ingredients from the Monster of the Week acclimatization, Marinette crushing too hard on Adrian and getting into trouble, and some more down to earth moments with the extended cast, as Marinette's best friend, Alia, tries to help her babysit Manon, daughter of news anchor Nadja. If a newcomer, this sets up the template and allows you to pick up the general gist of the series easily with just being a generally fun story to start with, which is part of the reason why I got instantly hooked on the show in the first place. As an existing fan, John, I had some mixed feelings into this could have been a great opportunity to kick off with something new. However, it was still fun to revisit these original stories, but a big joy is seeing all your favorite characters in an actual manga art style, which fans would know was one of the original proposals for the show before they decided to produce it in CG. It doesn't go quite all the way in adapting art styles. You see the things like Sailor Moon or Cardcaptor Sakura trying to accommodate some Western style comic inspirations as well, particularly from its adult characters. It doesn't mesh as well as it might like it to, with an odd clash between slightly different styles that makes some characters look out of place. When Dino appears in the Bobbler, for example, the way he is drawn makes him look a little bit off and contrasts to Marinette and Adrian's more cutesy, rounded faces. Other characters drawn really pop off the page, from our 2 heroes to villains like Stormy Weather, who in particular makes a strong impression. The pacing is quite tight and snappy, with each story fitting into around 60 pages, give or take, which is so far gives plenty of room to put episodes of paper show all the main action, as well as covering Stormy Weather and the Bubbler. We also have the first part of the Evil Illustrator, so it was getting to see the initial superhero action. There's also plenty to dig into around Marinette's home and school's life, which gives some of the side characters a chance to shine, whether that be in good ways, like showing how skilled in picking Marinette's father is, or the bad, introducing the haughty class bully, Chloe, who throws her way around thanks to being the mayor's daughter. Also in the main stories, there's also a nice little Yukoma after the end of each one, which offers a funny aside to the main tale and works well in breaking things up. Miraculous Tales of Ladybug Cat Noir is being released by Kodansha both physically and digitally. The book has been translated by Aletia and Aletia Nibley, and reads well and has a nice translator's notes section at the back which highlights cool differences between the English, Japanese, and French editions of both the book and TV show, which I found pretty interesting. Overall, the first volume of Miraculous Tales of Ladybug Cat Noir offers a solid adaptation of the show's opening episodes in a stylish and easy to read format that I think could go down well with both fans of the show and newcomers in all ages. It's great to see the show finally meet its original envisioned manga style, even if some character artwork can look a bit out of place. Meanwhile, the individual stories are well told, although I do wish it was a bit more ambitious and inserting more new material. 7 out of 10.